Auzubillahiminash-shaytanir-rajeem. Bismillahir-rahmanir-rahim. Dear students, Assalamu alaikum to BS second semester English class. Today our topic is communication and 7 C's of communication. What is communication? The imparting or exchanging of information by speaking, writing, or using some other medium. Television used to be an effective mean of communication and still it is, but any medium that is known as a communication. Or we can say that communication is giving, receiving, or exchanging ideas, information, signals, or messages through appropriate media, enabling individuals or groups to persuade, to seek information, to give information, or to express emotions. This broad definition includes body language, skills of speaking, and writing. Communication is actually of two types, that is verbal or and non-verbal, or verbal or visual communication. People are often take communication for granted. Communicators constantly exchange information, meaning people always seems to be either receiving or giving information. So we can say that we will be in a dumb society if we do not communicate. So communication is very important for any society, and nowadays without communication even you cannot, if you do not know the proper way or how to communicate, you will be unable in practical life to survive. So now let's come to the 7 C's of communication. What is actually the 7 C's of communication? 7 C's of communication is the list of the principles through which we can make a successful communication, or we can prevent our communication from being failed. According to 7 C's of communications, these are 1. Clear, number 2. Concise, number 3. Concrete, number 4. Correct, number 5. Coherent, number 6. Complete, and number 7. Courteous. Now we will study each of these C's, or the communication C's, in detail. In this article, we look at each of these 7 C's of communication and we will illustrate each element with both good and bad examples. Clear, which is the first C of 7 C's of communication. When writing or speaking to someone, be clear about your goal or message. What is your purpose in communicating with this person? If you are not sure, then your audience won't be sure either. To be clear, try to minimize the number of ideas in each sentence. Make sure that it's easy for your reader to understand your meaning. People shouldn't have to read between the lines and make assumptions on their own to understand what you are trying to say. Information and action required must be clear so the reader has the information they need to take action. In this diagram, we can see that sending a message and receiving a message, if both the person are understanding and if the information is quite clear, then the communication will be successful. 2 C's of communication is concise. Concise, when you are concise in your communication, you stick to the point and keep it brief. Your audience does not want to read 6 sentences when you could communicate your message in 3. It means that a successful communication is not a long communication, but it should be to the point. Are there any adjectives or filler words that you can delete? You can often eliminate words like, for instance, you see, definitely, kind of, literally, basically, or I mean. Are there any unnecessary sentences? This can usually be done in a written form of communication. So whenever you are sending your written communication, so try to omit these things. How you repeated the point several times in a different way. Similarly, if you are talking to someone, your communication should be concise. Next is concreteness. When your message is concrete, then your audience has a clear picture of what you are telling them. There are detail, but not too many, and vivid facts, and there's a laser-like focus. Your message is solid. Whenever you should not be woolly-minded, ambiguous in giving your message to someone. You should be concrete. Your message should be concrete. Another in the list of the 7 C's of communication is the correctness, that is correct. When your communication is correct, it fits your audience, and correct communication is also error-free communication. So if you are today the every person is so much aware due to internet or due to these globalization that you cannot exchange a wrong message with anyone. Your message should be correct. You should know whatever you are saying. Do the technical terms you use fit your audience level of education or knowledge? Have you checked your writing for grammatical errors? Remember, spell checkers won't catch everything. Your grammatical mistakes, your spelling mistake, everything these should be corrected when you are writing. And in your verbal communication or when you are saying, when you are talking to somebody, you should know about whatever you are giving to your communicator or what you that should not be they should be correct, because you should not underestimate the person to whom you are talking. Are all the names and titles spelled correctly when you are writing something? Okay, another 7 C's in 7 C's list, coherent. When your communication is coherent, it's logical. All the points are connected and relevant to the main topic, and the tone and the flow of the text is consistent. Mean that you should not be away from the main topic of your communication. It should be coherent. That's not. It should not be like this, that you are talking about something in one moment and on another you are talking about something else. Complete. What is completeness in 7 C's of communication? In a complete message, the audience has everything they need to be informed and, if applicable, take an action. Does your message include all a call to action so that your audience clearly knows what you want them to do? For example, incomplete messages is ununderstandable for the person who is communicating with you. So your either that is verbal or that is written, your message should be complete. Have you included all the relevant information, contact names, dates, times, location, and so on? Courteous. What is courteous? Courteous communication is friendly, open, and honest. There are no hidden insult or passive aggressive tones that we satirically do with each other. Whatever we are trying to say, listener or the reader should not get another meaning from your communication. It is about you have to keep the courtesy in your mind. You keep your reader's viewpoint in mind, and you are empathetic to their needs. There's no need to be a bossy in your communication. So these were the 7 C's of communication. I hope you will have understand them, and we will discuss it further in our live class as well. So thank you for watching.